I would say that is kind of like the craziest thing that I do whenever I'm sick. I will still continue to smoke weed. And there's nothing worse than being high and sick. Like, it doesn't feel good.
So don't do it, stupid.
Well, I mean, at that point, you're just like, but also I do want to still be stoned. It's a tough situation. All right.
I get it. I get. You know, there's no nasal Narcan now for addicts like you. Over the counter, OTC, baby. The GPHH is now OTC.
I love how they're now going to start like making money off of fucking. Oh shit! What is going on here? And why aren't we showing? Is the question. Are we showing? Oh, there we are. Okay, I was on the wrong channel. Here we are. We seem to be up and running, Casey Lai. But anyway.
Did you see that fentanyl? I don't know. There was some article about like some town in Texas where all the kids are dying of fentanyl overdoses, like in school parking lots and shit.
Listen, we never know what kids are going to find trendy. All right. You know,
save the kids.
They've always been revolutionary. You know, I was watching this news story on I think it's from the BBC, and it was like, to all the drugs that are accounted for, a lot of the drugs, a higher percentage than any of the drugs that are accounted for being brought into this country from Mexico is being brought in by Americans. So the problem is inside the house, y'all. Here's the thing. Americans have been going to Mexico for fucking budgeted bullshit for years. You always go there because it's a little cheaper. To think that Americans aren't going down there so they can bring over fucking cheaper fucking drugs is silly. You know, if you're going to go down there for a fucking discounted tummy tuck, why wouldn't you go down there for some fentanyl?
Fentanyl.
You got to respect the fentanyl junkies, dude. Like, literally, they have nothing to fucking, they're ready. They're ready at any moment.
And that reminds me of a joke that I was need to write down about how everyone says, oh, like in the end times, you kind of want to like, you like the best people to like side with are like the people who have a lot of guns. It's like, I'm saying meth addicts because they're prepared for everything.
I mean,
you know,
they can work a lot of shit out in a pinch because they don't have a very big budget, hardly ever. And I'm talking real addict. I'm not talking about like celebrity.
I'm talking about street meth.
Yeah.
Like
the ones who deserve our respect.
They can outrun a zombie just by walking down the sidewalk. I mean, have you seen how fast they walk?
I've seen it.
It's amazing.
I mean, I've gotten mowed over by a couple of drug addicts in my day trying to get to the next fix.
Some other drugs.
Hi, YouTubes. Hello. We should acknowledge you guys, right? Hello. Thank you for joining us once again for another, GPHH. Are you ready to start the show, Casey? Do you have another brilliant opener to wow our audiences?
I don't think this one's going to be that good. I don't want to set the standard.
Wow.
I don't want to get them too excited.
Wow. Here's the thing.
Because all of the news,
you're not going to do it 100%.
I'm doing it 100%. But the problem is sometimes I'd like to link it to news stories, and all of the news stories we're going to do are tragedy based. So I don't want to
How about if I tell you that next week is our 300th episode? Would that give you a little inspo to do something? Or do you still need to go to Dead Kids?
No, I mean, everything I was going to do with Dead Kids. No, I can do one that's not Dead Kids.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I'm ready to. Here's the thing. I'm always open and ready to receive it.
Yeah.
Should I do a countdown?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to set my timer. Hold on. We're right here. And I'm just going to do like a 4, 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gay Power Half Hour, the only gay podcast on the internet that's just like a once-in-a-generation epic winter storm in California, because we are here almost every week with Casey Lai and
Hello, I am your full frontal Tony Soto.
Stormy Soto.
Stormy Soto. Hi, Case.
Hi, Bubs.
So, just before we started recording, I brought up something that I think that we should address because today, this episode of GPHH is our 299th episode.
That is. On the one hand, that is incredibly impressive and amazing. On the other hand, it is a little like, how are we still here? And why aren't we doing
when you reach your 300 show milestone, like that truly does mean something. So next week, we're going to be 300 episodes in. We're not doing anything special for it because God knows we can't get ourselves together enough to do anything special for it.
That's our brand.
That's our brand. You know, it was like, I remember being like, 6 weeks ago, being like, we have 6 weeks. We could do something. And it didn't happen. However, well, I'm just going to say, sorry, and I'll let you talk, but like 300 episodes in, I don't know, listeners out there, when you started with us, if you started in the middle, if you all started at the beginning, but here's the thing. This show, for anything, has been a journey of emotions. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like the beautiful thing about this show is that we don't hold back on our emotions and how we feel about things.
No.
And I think it's been a blissful ride, Casey. I can't believe we're still doing it either.
A blissful ride indeed. And honestly, what a world of trauma we have all been through, you and I and listeners out there, over the last 300 episodes. We really started, you know, we did the whole Trump administration, the whole lead up to the Trump thing, you know, and here we still are fighting a lot of the same battles with microphones, luckily. Not encountering anyone yet with a gunrophone. But I am, I'm sorry. I wouldn't want to have gone through it with anyone other than you.
I mean, if anyone was going to quit, it was going to be you. Let's face it. Like,
I thought about it a lot.
Well, let's be honest. I never thought about it once. I just want that to be known. I've never thought about leaving this show once at all. And listen, we have had our ups and downs, but when I'm in something, I'm in it for the long haul. I don't give a shit. I live off drama. So I like to hear about the episodes when fans come up and they're like, oh my God, that one episode was really kind of, I was like, I know, isn't it great? But I was like, the fact that you're still on this ride, I'm like, as sensitive as you is, still with me.
Well, a couple of things.
And I love that. And I love you.
One reason why I've stayed is because you have shown capacity to change and get better as a person. You're the same host as you've always been. You're the same fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
And you are much. You listen better. You pretend at least to humor me in the changes that I sometimes encourage, and I have appreciated that. We don't fight the way we used to fight. Remember how we used to fight on this goddamn show?
Yeah, we used to love them. Love that shit. Yeah, loved it.
Should we ramp it up again?
Listen, I've always had a good time. Listen, doing this show for as long as we have. I can gauge by the redness in Casey's face on how far I am pushing the limits, especially since we're on the Zoom now and we don't do it in person anymore. It's like, it's very easy to gauge. I'll be like, and sometimes I am grown up enough that I'm like, oops, she's getting a little red. I should probably step back a little bit.
And I will say, I can tell there's like there's a look on your face when I'm pushing and I'm hitting something that you don't want to talk about, or you know you did wrong, but you won't admit it, and you get.
I know I did wrong. Do you hear his? See, this is how fights start. This is how fights start, because it's always Tony Soto who's done wrong. It's always Tony Soto with the life lesson. Tony Soto with the PSA of there's no hope with dope. Well, I'm pretty hopeful, you fuck.
Well, let me tell you, there is hope with dope, because I've been doing this show for almost 300 episodes now with a dope who's a big doper. And let me tell you, it's been amazing. I'm hopeful. So there is hope in dope. Thank you, Tony, for showing us all that is just another useless slogan from the 80s.
That was from Saved by the Bell.
That was from Saved by the Bell, the 90s. Here you go.
Yeah, it was in the 90s, the best decade ever. But listen, I said all that uplifting shit and all that exciting shit because we have to immediately pivot to Dead Kids.
Yeah, happy 299.
Hello, Tony Soto reporting live at Dead Kids once again.
We've almost done more shows than there have in our time than there have been mass shootings this year.
They'll surpass us. Listen, by April, they'll be good and over 300 episodes. So, and this show just keeps getting younger and younger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we had another mass shooting in Tennessee, of all places. Shock and awe. And it took out 9 people, 3 kids. 3 kids. You know what? I don't know the numbers.
3 kids and three adults at this point, is from what I understand.
Why do they say 9? Is it only 6?
Oh, maybe it's up to 9. I haven't. I don't know. I didn't check in the last 20, 30 minutes or so. So
anywho, so it's usually the liberals who are like, oh, everything's awful, this is terrible, something needs to be done. But this is a little twist. Now we have the conservative people saying, oh, no, this is terrible, something needs to be done. Because the shooting took place in a private Christian school in Tennessee.
Elementary school, right?
Mm-hmm. They were 9 years old. The kids were all 9.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm getting the 9.
There you go.
There we go. Listen, the kids are 9, but there were only 3 of them, and then 3 adults.
Yeah, all factors of 3.
Right.
3 kids, 3 adults, 6 people total, 9 years old.
But the
terrible math equation.
The twist. This go around is that the shooter is being said that they are identified as transgender.
They are the media and everyone else has identified this person as transgender. I think until we have a couple of more and I'm wondering facts.
right because they're releasing slowly videos of them and is it because they are wearing a backwards hat and a jersey and jeans? Is this? Okay, well, first of all, I would like to know what you think, because I have strong opinions about this, but I have questions because here's my thing. My focus is not on the shooting aspect of it. Okay. That's going to be a conversation that I'm tired of talking about. They're never going to get rid of them. They were always going to have shootings, but the only way they're going to keep this interesting for the viewers and the watchers who aren't getting shot is spinning narratives about the shooters now.
Yeah.
And let's not get it twisted. Tennessee has had its issues regarding LGBT discrimination in its history. It's not that kind. They are the ones to first actually put in a law banning drag queens. Let's not forget this. It's not like they make people's lives comfortable if they're LGBT, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to know what you think about this. And then I have questions that I want to throw out and see what you think.
Well, I think, first and foremost, it sucks. And it's this is this is why it sucks. Is because no matter what happens and no matter what facts we learn after the fact of all of the initial reporting on this will come back to harm the LGBT community. Because there will be retaliations against our community in various forms across this fucking country.
I think that's a plan. I think that was a plan.
Well, I don't want to start false flagging all this shit by any means, but I think that this is probably and you will probably disagree on this. I will say a disturbed person who I view most people who choose to buy guns and
you have no proof of that. They're all dead. We can never back that up. They always die.
But
hearsay, bro. Mental illness part is bullshit, bro.
But so anyway, so regardless of this person's motivations, it will be used to harm our community. And so as a result of that, I'm pretty upset about this scenario. To see my initial rage-filled response is to see the right and their puny-brained leaders like Marjorie and others, Tucker, another, using this so grossly and politically, when they're every fucking conservative politician, whenever there's a mass shooting and liberals are like, it's time to fucking ban guns, which of course will never happen. Their response is, don't politicize a tragedy. And they're using this to say the trans community maybe the trans community shouldn't have guns. Oh, so you're willing to restrict guns. You are willing to restrict guns for some people, potentially, as long as it fits your fucking political agenda. It is disgusting. I mean, it's like, again, there's so many facts that needs to come in, but initially the headlines are brutal for the LGBT community. And I hate that so much. And I hate this person for fucking doing this as a result of it.
I don't hate them anymore. Fuck it. I don't hate the killers anymore. I'm like, listen, there's always been a solution. Ban fucking guns. Simple.
Agreed.
So, you know what? I'm done hating the evil, and I'm tired of the evil. Here's the thing. I have questions. All right. This is 130 something, 139 or whatever fucking mass shootings in the year. How many of those 139s have made commercial news? How many of those? Not all of them. Ooh, not all of them. I would remember if there was 139 fucking news stories about a mass shooting. I would remember that.
Normally, six is not that. Normally, 6 people in this day and age is not enough to merit this type of news coverage.
And I get that these kids were young, and I get that that's what fucking feeds fodder for a bunch of people. But this also seems very convenient. So I have a lot of questions because I want to know what's the sequence of events that take place in the media that get the reporters out there. Because here's what I see. They're like, oh, I don't know. There's this like, this like lesbian looking person, backwards, ball cap, shooter. We can spin that as a tranny. We can spin that real quick and easy, and that'll be it. And so, and it's like, and then we were talking before we started recording, and you're like, well, this person is bona fide nuts or whatever you said. I'm paraphrasing. He did not say that. And I'm like, yeah, but we're getting the stories from the parents here. So like, I have a lot of questions before we start painting a picture of who this person is, because this could be a lesbian person who fucking, who her parents were kind of, or they could be trans, whatever. They could be LGBTQ. And their parents were like, we didn't like that. So we thought that they were crazy regardless. And so they could be telling news reporters the whole thing. And it's like, okay, well, if this person is transgender, why do you keep calling them she? Like if that's the thing too. And it's like regardless. And I'm not saying, you know, I'm never on the pronoun train. I don't give a fuck. But what I'm saying is, you are the news media. And if this was a person who didn't kill kids and you were saying that, like, it would, you know, there would be some kind of, I'm just like, let's have some consistency.
Well,
reporting.
I mean, let's be, you know, excuse me. What made it unique? I mean, the minute I saw the story, what jumped out to me was they were initially calling this person, before anything was known, a woman, and that alone was just like, oh, usually that's 99%.
It was very weird.
So I was like, okay, there's something. This is odd to begin with, and then of course, just like everyone else in my mind, I was like, well, are they a conservative or are they a liberal? You know what I mean? Like, I hate to say that's how we fucking jump.
Absolutely, that's the order you go in.
And then, you know, and as the stories unfolded, it is becoming more complicated in a lot of ways. And I hear you 100% on like, why is this news? But there are, you know, it's whenever our kids are killed in a school, like young kids, I know, I'm sorry, teenagers, but you don't matter that much when it comes, you know, to like a school shooting. There was one like the other day, and it was like two teenagers, and it was a blip on the newsreel. You know, this one is now the biggest news story in America. And there are some other big fucking stories, and it is because it is taken on such a fucking political turn, and that is the terrifying politicization of transness,
transgender people. Yeah,
I mean, it is. Well,
I mean, and this is the thing. It's very to me, the convenience of painting this person who will never know. Truthfully, we're never. Well,
I mean, I think we can know this person.
We haven't heard any manifestos. We haven't heard from their own voice. So the thing is like, look, like we don't have that yet. So we can't be jumping ahead in this situation.
I agree.
And the thing is like everyone's jumping ahead in this situation and there's no real info. So for me, it's like I saw maybe a lesbian who did it. And that to me is more interesting than anything else. But there's no backstory. And here's the thing is, it's in Tennessee. And it just seems very convenient at the height of this whole fucking panic against drag queens and transgender people that, oh, a transgender man shot up a bunch of kids. That just seems very bizarre. So I'm waiting. But here's the thing too. I know that I'm in trouble with a lot of people because I don't care about the dead anymore. Because here's the thing. If you choose to go to their memorial park, bitch, that's on you. But I'm not going to let it affect my day any longer because it is an issue that will never be remedied. We were talking last week about GPT or whatever, and how, ask it how to fucking solve gun control or whatever. And the answer is going to be, don't have them.
Yeah.
And if it's not that, then ChatGPT is crazy.
No, I know the great
solution.
No, I know it's not. I tell you what, it's not going to say lock the doors more, or maybe
Pray.
The solution is more guns. No,
and isn't it like in Arkansas or something? They passed something that they'll let kids carry guns at school. Like. What are so?
I don't know if that's real. I don't know if that.
I'm learning that the good old days now to these people are Western times. That's what I'm learning. That's what they thought was, and not probably real Western times, Hollywood Western times.
And
they want to go back to fucking when John Wayne and all that bullshit was happening.
Yeah,
and it's like y'all are fucking. Please, let's just give them all Texas.
Well,
and say shoot them up all you want. Just go there, all you gun nuts.
And Trump debuted his fucking, campaign in Waco. Speaking of Texas, speaking of fucking scary,
it was
Texas.
A centralized location. All the big areas in Texas is what he said.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that makes sense. Not because of its famous cult pedophile figure, David Koresh, who loved to go down in a blaze of glory,
and he sure did.
And he sure fucking inspired the other cult pedophile who's going down in a blaze of glory, hopefully, fiery Donald Trump. The way in which this will make regular and constant campaign moments for that monster is going to be terrifying, and he is going to rile up. Maybe it's only 25% of the Republican Party, but that's the worst fucking 25% of that fucking worst fucking party. And they're going so many. I am. I don't know. There was a lot of optimism over the last couple of years that we've been talking about, things might be taking a little bit form of normalcy and rationality coming back. But now what is about to be unleashed by Trump and those trying to out Trump it's going to be really, really scary.
I mean, and the thing is look, we can't hold Trump accountable for mass shootings. I mean, they've been there before.
No,
and they're going to be there after him. And what we're
coming insurrection behavior, civil war.
Civil war. Well, no, that's something that this country's never really had to deal with except since the first Civil War. And maybe the civil rights movement here and there, it got pretty hairy. But overall, yes. But here's where I'm coming from now. I think the Second Amendment should absolutely be abolished. I think 100%. Any dated, misinterpreted thing, let's say, I don't know, the Bible or the fucking Constitution. Ain't no one alive now that ever fucking talked to those founders. We don't know shit about those founders except for what we read in books. And it's and honestly, a lot of fucking quotes coming from those founders are kind of anti-church. So I just we never take into consideration the period of time that it was written. We just want to make the document infallible. And it's when we're saying bear arms, it was because there were British people here that would go into your house, fucking shoot you up, maybe rape you a little bit, and use your fucking house as a hideout. And you didn't want that to happen. And so the government was like, you know what, shoot them. If they come in, you can shoot them. That doesn't happen anymore. And to live in fear of the idea that could possibly happen again, I mean, it's super silly.
I mean, but it is silly, but that is literally that's the fear that they've been whipped up into is and like that's when it comes to like banning all guns, sure, but what about the billion fucking guns that everyone fucking has? You have to fucking take everyone's guns away, and that is the
well, no, you grandfather people in. It's a grandfather in time. Sure. Like you don't have to lose your fucking guns, but all those street guns that the cop sees or whatever, we can melt.
So and agreed, and I agree on that. And actually, you know, when it like statistically, like all of the guns that are being used in all these fucking mass shootings are bought like within the time frame of a couple of fucking weeks, you know, like they're making plans and they're going to get them, and they're all fucking batshit crazy. The parents, whatever, we don't know enough. I don't want to say, because actually I've heard conflicting things that they were actually more on the liberal side. So we don't know anything.
We don't know anything.
So, but what I like, the parents are on record trying to make it clear that their kid should not, they tried to do like red flag laws. They were like concerned their kid was going to kill people. Okay. And so all we hear about is now in the school, parents' rights. But when it comes to guns, gun rights trump parents' rights, you know,
because everything's a lie. Everything is a lie. It's not about kids or parents or anything.
But it's like, you know, like fucking red flag laws don't work. And it's so, I was thinking about this. It's so fucking, you know, like conservatives hate red flag laws. So it's like, well, anyone with a vendetta against a person that they don't like can accuse them of this, and then they're going to have to go through the courts, and they might get their guns taken away. And yet they want to they'll walk by a fucking drag show and a woman and a man is in a wig, and they'll say a kid is being groomed, and then the school and then the fucking state will fucking shut that establishment down. Or did you see I don't remember the movie, and I don't remember this little girl, civil rights hero, they had a movie made about her, and in some fucking stupid fucking state they were showing the video. The school sent home a permission slip because there was some offensive language, you know, in their minds about race. And one parent said, like, shut this whole fucking movie, the ability for the kids to see this movie about a civil rights hero, you know? But that's my point is like the hypocrisy in anyone could use red flag laws in various different ways, but they don't fucking care when it comes to vigilante justice, when it comes to abortion, gender variance, or fucking books and movies.
Well, we got to be overlooking for sound minds from conservative people. It's not a thing. They're walking contradictions, and that's just what it comes down to. And, you know, I think about like, okay, say what it's going to happen, deal with Trump or whatever. But you know, there's some reports saying that evangelicals are like leaving the Trump base and moving on to DeSantis slowly but surely. But here's what it comes down to for Christians. This is fodder for their, oh, we are so persecuted. Yep. Oh, we are so under siege. Oh, the Christian people are so discriminated against. And it's like, no. You started the fight. Now, look, I don't know. Allegedly, this kid went to that school. And you know what? And sorry, religious people, for your dead kids. So sorry. Yeah, it's condolences. However, where are you when your kids are being raped by their fucking religious teachers, priests, and all that? Because here we lost 3 fucking 9-year-olds, tragic as it is. But when you lose 20 plus in fucking Sandy Hook, I stopped mourning then, and I have been very honest about this. But if you cared, if you gave one fuck, you wouldn't be talking about this one person who killed 3. You'd be talking about the hundreds of news stories that come out every week about your kids being raped by priests.
I actually wrote this Tucker Carlson quote down because it was so enraging. I wanted to get it. He said, why are trans people so angry, and why do they seem to be mad, specifically at traditional Christians? We can't think of any trans person who's ever been murdered by a pastor. Okay, fine. But you know what? It was without a fucking doubt. How many fucking trans kids, and I guarantee it's a lot, have been fucking raped by their fucking pastors?
And also, how many trans kids have fucking named their rapist priests in their suicide notes? You don't fucking know that. Exactly. You don't fucking know that. You don't know. And see, I talked about this on the Tony Soto show briefly because they talked, and if it's repetitive, I'm so sorry, listeners, if you listen to both. But it's like when we're talking about Oh my God, I lost my train of thought. Never mind. I guess I don't have to go
Well,
back.
We'll just play the clip from the Tony Soto show on there.
Yeah.
And then...
Wait, what were we just saying right before?
I was saying Tucker, like murdered by the priest. You said suicide notes.
Oh yeah, like I mean, I tried for many years to be a Christian person when I was growing up, when I was young, and
Sure,
I was
same.
talking about there were supportive people in church for sure, but there were also those people that knew what the fuck I was before I knew what the fuck I was.
Sure.
And they made it hard on me. You know what I mean? They weren't accepting. They weren't loving. It was always keep an eye on that one. It was always shifty. And you know what? Regardless of what you want to say, at a young, impressionable age of people who are trying to find some kind of divinity and some kind of reason to be on this fucking stupid planet, and you might be a little bit of a faggot, and you see that shit, I mean, that weighs on you. That hits you because 100%. You go home and you're like, oh fuck, man, like, because it's not like you're not aware of the fucking way the Bible is translated to talk about gay people. I mean, misinterpreted, you know. Let's face it, the real writing was about pedophiles, but you all love to fuck children. So why would we fucking change that?
Yep.
So yeah, it's just really kind of asinine for someone to think that a church does not do irreparable damage to young queer minds.
No, 100%. I mean, you know, let me get historical about it. I mean, like the reason that everyone in like pre-Christian times, and even well past it, were ragingly homosexual times, it's because women didn't want to have sex with men because if they got pregnant, there was like a 90% chance they'd die, you know? So they were like, go fuck your friend. Okay. We can fuck. We'll try it once every couple of years, but honestly, go fuck your friend. That's sex with someone that you're not going to kill. Okay. Yeah. Fucking do that shit. And then everyone loved it so much that the Christians had to be like, no, we got to create more Christians. So
yeah. I mean, you do have to fuck them occasionally.
Yeah. Who cares if the women die? Okay.
No, that's the thing. Why couldn't we have had compromise then? You know what I mean? Why couldn't there have been some compromise? Been like, why couldn't the guy be like, listen, you do have to fuck your wives on occasion. But, you know, here's the thing.
But this boy pussy is so tight and good.
Is this your ASMR? Is this
no, that's a direct quote from Julius Caesar. Who allegedly was a giant.
You gotta believe him, man. He reads books. He lets us know every week how many books he reads. So that's gotta be true.
Num num num. Give me some of that boy pussy. I don't know the direct Latin translation, but that is Julius Caesar.
I'm just saying, look, I'm done talking about the shootings and the victims because no one really wants to talk about that 2 weeks later anyway. And the solution to that problem is clear. But we have a case of the stupids in this country because for some reason we feel like it's elite for us to be in that. You know what? A lot of countries have changed their constitutions throughout their history. There is a good chance that a bunch of fucking cousin fucking weirdos in wigs and fucking poofy fucking clothes might not have been right about future dealings. You know what I mean? They might have been kind of focused on one scope.
This is we don't have enough time to talk about the protests in Israel, but I mean, like the one thing that the connection to me is like the reason why Israel is fucking falling apart is because the right wing zealots who believe everything that the fucking was going on in the Torah and believe that everything that the world is supposed to fucking look that way, they're ruining a really great country as a result. And so that's why that's the connection. Like it's not religious people who are bad, it's not Jews who are bad, it's conservative fucking fundamentalists who are bad in every fucking shape and form. Okay, they're going to destroy your country.
Religious people are pretty
no
bad.
I know, but the thing is like, how about not I'm just saying it's like, it's not inherently bad. It's the people who believe
it's pretty bloody. It's history.
Try to use it to fucking affect policy on governments and fucking employ their fucking hate on everyone, and that is when it becomes a major fucking problem. It's a major fucking
I'm just saying when your history as a religion is just baked in blood and murder of things they don't understand, no matter how removed you are from that murder, if you buy into any of it, you're just as evil as any fucking conservative zealot. So, and you're the catalyst. You're the horse they ride in home because you like to hear it. You like to hear about all the fucking damnation that's going to happen to everybody else but me. Well, guess what, bitch? I hope there is a rapture, and I hope I'm standing right next to your dumbass when we both don't go. All right. Well, we've come to the end of the show. Yeah. Casey, you're on.
And if you both don't go, you should turn to the conservative Christian next to you and be like, "Wow, fuck." you
know you've wanted to do it.
You ain't going.
You know you wanted to do it.
Loving that. All right, everybody. Real fun times. You can see me on Friday, the 31st, 9:45 at the Hollywood Improv Lab. I believe I'm closing the show out for a show called Give Me That Peach Samba. Gimme Peach Samba. Anyway, the show's gonna be amazing. That's this week. Oh, and you know what? I'm opening for Solomon Giorgio, doing an hour at the Elysian on this Sunday. Yeah. I'm hosting. Me, Alan, and Fritzy.
I'm totally gonna be there.
What a treat!
If I get a ticket. I wasn't asked to host.
You weren't asked to host, no, and we'll see.
And I'm not gonna take full offense to that right now because we don't have enough time for me to dive into it. But if I had a therapist, that would be something I would talk about.
Well, there was already too many men with interesting voices on the show, me and Fritz. So there wasn't room. And we'll see if we can get on the list. Who knows?
No.
Follow me on Instagram.
Great. Congratulations. Can't wait to be there.
Wow.
Clicking pictures like fucking that fucking Kardashian mom. Oh my God. I'm going to be in the audience doing the choreography like the cool mom in Mean Girls.
Where can they find you, Tony Soto?
Oh, well, shit. First of all, if you like GPHH, and why wouldn't you? It's fine. Go to our iTunes page, subscribe, rate the show, leave a comment. It helps. Also, it's a jam-packed weekend full of Tony Soto and Casey Live because on April 3rd is the next Learn the Words, bitch. At Akbar, the sign up is at 8:30. The show is at 9. Come on out. It is a lot of fun. Also, I do Battle Babies every week, every Wednesday at Stash at 10 p.m. Please come out for that. It's going to be rainy this week, but come on. And I am the Tony Soto Show on Instagram and TikTok. So give a bitch a follow. We'll be back again next week. Goodbye. I was literally going to ask you